Everybody ready?
Class.
Good to go? Well, I really wanted to thank everybody for being here and supporting me, and throwing this party for me. So if you have any gifts or cards with checks in them, you can put them in the back table. I'll grab them on my way out. So my name's Jake Melton. Oh, that was me when I was tan, sorry. I used to tan, but now I actually do what's called moon tan. And I really love that pale moonlight thing, so that's why I don't look like that so much anymore. I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm an author. I actually wrote a book last July called Minimalize to Maximize Your Happiness, Cut the Crap. In this book, I wrote based off some of my personal experiences on how to overcome some of the things in our lives that we may be dealing with by getting rid of things that are holding us back. I have a background. I'll give you my new picture. That's what I look like now. I have a background in organizational psychology, leadership development, and mental health and wellness. I want to show you first, before we dive into things, just so you know, we have 45 minutes or so, and we're going to bring the other group in. So what I want to do, maybe go 20 minutes or so, and then we'll open up to a Q&A, and we'll just kind of have a discussion. But this is my whole world right here. This is my wife, Emily. We've been married about 7 years, on 7 years. This is my little girl, Haven. You can tell they look alike, right? She's 4, and all she's talking about right now is being 5. This is my little buddy, Dean. We call him Dino, and he'll be 2 in about a week and a half or so. So they are the reason why I do everything that I do. They're the reason I get up in the morning, and that's only because my kids run in the bed and they make me get up. So they're the reason I have to get up in the morning. They are the reason I get up in the morning and why I do everything that I do. So I'm going to talk to you, there's another picture of me when I was 10. I'm going to talk to you about my LinkedIn journey, why I'm up here sharing my message with you today. I'll go to my pale moonlight self here. Here we go. Back January 2018, my wife and I had just moved here actually November 2017 from Salt Lake City to Dallas for a work opportunity. It was actually just down the street. After 3 months of being there, they weren't able to pay me what they had expected to pay me and what they had promised me. So my wife and I moved here with no family. We had no friends here quite yet. We had just moved into our house. We had no furniture. And I got the news that I didn't have a job anymore. So I always wanted to do my own thing. And my wife really said at that point, I'm here to support you. You've always wanted to do your own thing. Let's just go for it. It's going to be a hard year, especially financially, but I'm here to support you. So fast forward into June 2018. I was actually speaking in an HR group, and I don't know, Fanny right here, Fanny Dunnigan right here. I told her I'd embarrass her, but I was
full of food.
I was speaking at an HR group, and Fanny was there. I spoke again. Fanny was there again. We got to know each other. We actually did a video together. And it was in June so last summer in June, she said, hey, there's a LinkedIn local event. You should come and check it out. And at that time, I wasn't really using LinkedIn. I'd only use LinkedIn to look for work or look for opportunities. And before I moved here to kind of network a little bit and see what opportunities might be available here. So I was kind of hesitant. I wasn't really in the LinkedIn thing. And these two up here, Katie Wallace and Jake Jordan, when I got onto LinkedIn, they were like celebrities on that. And I thought, how am I ever going to get and build a following? How am I ever going to get my name out there? How am I ever going to make friends and network like they have? So Fanny said, come to this meeting. I know it's going to be different. You'll meet some people there. I met them there, I'll tell you that. And they became great friends. But since June, when I started getting on LinkedIn and started into the video content producing and started sharing my message, and once I released my book in July, I had about 7,000 followers at that time. In December of this last year, I was at 27,000 followers. Now let me say this, it is not about the followers. It is not about the views. It is not about how many comments you get. But the reason I share that with you is because I was able to build a reputation on LinkedIn. I was able to engage with people so they recognized who I was, what my name was. My hashtag was cut the crap. So my hashtag was floating around on LinkedIn, and people still recognize me for that hashtag. Even if I write another book, I'm still going to always be known by hashtag cut the crap. But that's the reason I share this, is for any of you who are trying to get involved with LinkedIn more and become more frequent and engaged users on LinkedIn. You're trying to build a business. You're trying to, maybe you work for an organization now and you're trying to get the word and spread the word and market the business you're working for now. This has been an amazing experience, and it really did change my life. As corny as it may sound, LinkedIn changed my life. And so that's why I called this tonight the magic of LinkedIn, because it's magic I feel like I've experienced by the people I've met, from the things I've been able to do, and where my business went from in June being pretty much nowhere to now where I feel like I've been able to reach much further than I ever thought I would in half a year. So there's 5 ways of doing this that we'll go through tonight. The first one is content creation. The second is creativity. The third is engagement. The fourth is focusing on others. And the fifth is marketing well. And what we'll do is we'll go through each of these steps. You're welcome to take pictures of this, and if you want, or you can just take notes. Number 1, content creation. Just do it! Do it! Have you guys seen that? Shia LaBeouf. If you haven't, you gotta go on YouTube. It's so funny. Okay, just do it. You have to create content. That's the world we live in these days. In order to get your name out there for people to recognize you, you need to be creating content. Don't post. This is very important. Do not post just to post. There's this feeling that you can get, especially being on there when you see content creators creating so frequently and consistently, where you feel like you have to post every day. Now, obviously that will help, but at the same time, if you're posting just to post because you feel like you have to, again, take it back to what value are you bringing? Why are you really there? In my opinion, this is only my opinion, it's better to not post than post garbage content or post something that is not going to help anybody. It's better to just not post. Kind of if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Same thing with this. So don't feel obligated like you have to be posting every day or twice a day or anything like, especially Gary Vee and people like that will tell you a certain amount you need to post, or you should be, and just post when you're ready to post. Post when you have something to say. The next one is the first one is create value. So when you're on LinkedIn and you're scrolling through your feed, what is it that is going to add, that you create, that is going to add value to the people that are scrolling in their feed and see your post pop up? And value, something that is going to help them in their lives professionally, personally. You may be in HR and all your content is geared towards an HR audience, and you're helping HR develop and you're teaching them ways, better recruiting techniques or hiring techniques. Think about who your audience is and how you can provide value to them. The next is create consistently. So again, you don't have to create every day, but the more consistent you are, the more recognizable you will be. And that was something when I started in June, after I went to that LinkedIn local and felt pumped up, I started getting involved in there's some video campaigns out there. Usually there's a theme and they'll invite a bunch of people to share videos about this theme. And it's an awesome way for you to build up some of that confidence in creating videos, but also getting, again, consistent content out there. So it's something you want to do, remain consistent. If you post once a month without doing anything else, it's not going to work. So you need to be posting and be top of mind for people who are actually going through their feed. Create action. This is something I didn't do, even though I had some marketing experience. It was something I didn't do very well at the beginning. Create action is just create a call to action. Invite somebody to comment on maybe you have a funny question. Maybe you want people to share a story or an experience that they had. Maybe you are doing a little self-promotion. You want to get people to go to your website or buy your book or look into the company or look into your products, whatever it is. You want to create action so people know what they're supposed to be doing after reading your post. It's always a good thing, too, to put it at the beginning, too, maybe as a headline. please share, everyone share with me something, something, something. And that's a good way to get engagement and people paying attention to what you're doing. Next, create creatively. How many content creators are there out there in the world? There are so many. We're living in a world now where it's so saturated that if we're not standing out, we don't have a chance. So create creatively. Now, I don't know if any of you are connected to Judy Fox, but she does an amazing job at following all of these rules. She doesn't post that often, but when she posts it here. She was talking about 5 ways your profile cover photo can actually sell for you. She had, I can't even tell you, I don't even remember the amounts of views on this, but it was crazy in the engagement that she got from this. But she's talking, 500,000 views, it was at that point. But it was such valuable information. Anybody, even if they've been on LinkedIn a long time, there was something new that they could get from this. And it was very, very engaging, and it worked. And so she did a really good job. If you're not connected with her, I advise that you do so. Step 2. Be creative. The main objective here is to draw interest and stand out. So I always like to say, don't be a red M&M in a pile of red M&Ms. You want to be a blue or a pink. I couldn't find one with a blue picture, and I don't do Photoshops with pink. But don't be a pink M&M and gray M&Ms. If you aren't creative, you are never going to stand out. You're just going to be another person on the feed. People aren't going to get engaged and be excited about what you have. So number 1 with being creative is be you. You, that is your greatest asset. You are you, and there's no other you in the entire universe. That is the one thing that differentiates you from everybody, is you. So don't try and be somebody else. And I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people can tell when somebody is trying to be somebody they're not, or trying to be somebody else. And people can sense that. So again, be you. You're awesome and perfect the way you are, so share that with the world and with the LinkedIn community out there. Be fun. Now, I use this of Michaela Alexis. If you're not connected with her, I mean, look, you could probably pay me to wear this, but talk about creative and standing out. She really had a big impact on making LinkedIn about you and being who you are, and kind of switching from that everything has to be perfectly professional kind of thing to let's be more creative, let's be more personable. And so I wanted to share this with you to connect with her as well, because she does an awesome job at being creative. She's very different, and that's why she has so many followers and she gets so many speaking engagements and clients, is because she stands out that way. Now, another term I use is scroll stopper. Scroll stopping might be known as something bad. It's like when you're scrolling down a screen and it stops, right? You can't actually keep scrolling on a website. But in this term, you want to be a scroll stopper in the way when somebody's going through their feed, they stop and they look at whatever it was you posted because it stood out and it was different and it was creative. You want to be a scroll stopper. Number 3, engage. Of the magic of LinkedIn, this was the most important and crucial piece in building what I have been able to build and what you are going to be able to build. So I went to lunch one day with somebody named Lila Smith, and I'll show you this. She at the time was known around the LinkedIn community as the queen of engagement. We sat down at lunch. At that time I was just posting videos. That was it. She said, Jake, you need to start engaging with people. You're not really going to get to know people, and they're not going to get to know you unless you're commenting, you're liking, you're messaging, you're getting involved. So at that time, I still was in the 7,000s of followers, okay? I was getting maybe like 10 likes, if that, and maybe like 2 comments. Again, it's not about that, but I'm just showing you the numbers here, just to show something. She said, start engaging. I did. Within weeks, I was up over 10,000 followers. I was getting tagged in posts all over LinkedIn. I was hopping on phone calls, having lunches with people, getting messages, personal inbox messages, and getting to know people that way. So the number one thing that changed the course of my LinkedIn experience was engaging. And so I encourage you all to do that. Even more, I would say it would even be more important than posting, is engaging. Raise your hand if you agree with me on that. Just engaging is what is going to build your reputation. It's going to build your brand. It's going to build your relationships. So number one, actively engage. Do that consistently. Even if you have a fear of getting on video and posting, and you have that writer's block and you don't know what to post, just get on and engage. That will help you dramatically. Fully engage. So don't just get on and say, hey, nice post, liked it, start liking pictures and not commenting. Get on and actually leave a meaningful response. And that's something Lila did very well too. When she engages, she leaves paragraphs, sometimes novels, but she has built that reputation because of the person she is and the relationship she's built by doing that. Respectfully engage. How many of you have either seen or had a troll pop up on your post? Or you've seen a troll? And by troll, I mean someone who's out there just to get you. And they want to just ruin your day and make you feel crummy. It happens, and if it hasn't happened to you, it will. And they're out there, and it sucks. So don't be a troll. You guys in this room, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. LinkedIn can be an extremely supportive community, so try and keep it that way. Obviously, if you disagree with something and you want to share that, you can do that, but again, respectfully. Doesn't mean you have to agree with everything, but there's a right way to handle it. So if you do all these things, it's what I call engaging like a boss, and that's what you're going to want to be doing. Oops. Number 4, this one's also very important. Focus on others. Raise your hand in this room if you like people who focus only on themselves. Right? This one is huge because you think this is my profile. This is me wanting to get my reputation, my brand, my products, my services. This is me wanting to get to know people, usually for the benefit of yourself, right? But when you start turning it and focusing on other people and start lifting and building other people, it changes your entire experience. So there was something I started several months ago, and it's called Community Feature Monday. Every Monday I post 2 features, 2 people that I have been able to meet that have made a difference for me in my life and have made an impact. Jake Jordan, he's actually right here in the front. This is Jamie Cohen. Jamie Cohen, if you're not connected with her. Amy Perkins, Joe Crenshaw. Joe's actually in the DFW area. Tima, Marty Vids, Lucen, Craig Wasilchuk. Sorry, Craig. Gregor Wasilchuk. You got to connect with these guys, but every week I try and post what it is that they do and what it is that makes them stand out and why they mean something to me. When I started doing this, the amount of engagement and drive to my profile tripled. It was huge when I started focusing on people other than myself and lifting others. And there's nothing better than when you're lifted by somebody else too. If you do something awesome and someone says, hey, congrats, it just makes you feel larger than life. So if you are thinking about that, think about how you can do that on your own profile. How can you build community and lift others? On LinkedIn, there's actually a kudos feature. It hasn't really been utilized much, at least I haven't seen it utilized much, but it's cool because you can go on, put somebody's name, and give them kudos. And then you can post it out on your LinkedIn profile, and people can see what it is that you liked or what you're congratulating somebody on. So check that out. Also, just be creative in how you can lift others. And then just remember, LinkedIn is a big community, and there's obviously communities within that. But how can you help build that community? What is your participation, and how can you, as who you are, build that community? Number 5, there you go, Katie. Number 5, market well. Katie is actually right here in the front. There's a good way to market, and obviously there's a billion bad ways to market. But I use Katie's example because she is a prime example of marketing well to me. Now, when I started my business, I had absolutely zero marketing funds available, no budget. So I was not able to pay for Instagram ads or Facebook ads, or I couldn't even actually afford the sales navigator on LinkedIn. So everything I had to do was organic. But yet I was still able to build this much without, I still have not spent $1 on advertising. So it's possible to get your name out there and build your reputation, your brand by doing that. And these are some of the things that I had to adjust that made that difference. And things that Katie here does awesome with. Richard Moore, Goldie Chan, same thing. They market well. Why? Because they know their purpose. Katie, I'm going to call you out on the spot. What is your purpose with Huck's Sustainables?
To build a more sustainable world.
To build a more sustainable world. You can look at the other one so you can prep your answer. Number 2, know your offering. What is your offering, Katie?
Consultation services, digital marketing services, and speaking.
Digital marketing and speaking services. Know your audience. Who's your audience?
Like our target, like who?
Yeah, like who are you trying to reach?
Anybody interested in building a more sustainable world.
Okay. Anybody trying to build a more sustainable world? Know your message. I would say that's pretty much your message to that.
Pretty in line.
And know your strategy. You don't have to share that with us, but we can go deep into that.
Yeah.
What is your strategy in getting all this information, your purpose, your offering, your message, and getting it to the audience? What is your strategy in doing that? Because ultimately that's going to help spread the name. That's going to spread the brand and get you out there. So again, connect with these folks because they do an awesome job of marketing well. Now, last resource here I want to share with you. These are some apps, and you can take a picture of this, or you can just write it down. These are some apps I've used that make, and you know me, I'm a minimalist and love cutting the crap, so I love just streamlining as much of this as I can. These are apps that changed my life as far as allowing me to get marketing material out and quick. Adobe Creative Cloud, obviously you got Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, After Effects, Sparks. There's a lot of video opportunity and creation there that can be done. Canva, how many of you in here use Canva? If you don't, it's my favorite app, probably ever. You don't need to know how to do Photoshop, you don't need to do any of that. It's basically for people who don't want to ever learn Photoshop and who want to just create awesome looking images or PDFs or anything like that, banners, advertisements. You can do it all in this app. Wix.com, that's a web builder. That's the one I particularly use. But I love it because I can actually send all of my emails out to my newsletter. Any information that I get, I can send it out to my email list. I can also buy products on my site. I can sell the products there and keep track of all of that. I have booking available on there. So again, whatever, it doesn't matter, not Wix particularly, that's just my favorite. But whatever your site is built on, figure out how you can add those features in and make it just easier for you to manage and streamline that. Clips. Clips is an awesome app for you if you want the captions at the bottom. If any of you have wondered how the heck do I get those little words to pop up on the bottom of my video, use Clips. Does anybody know if Clips is on Android? It is not on Android. So if you want to use Clips, you have Android, I'm sorry. But if not, if you have Apple, get it. It's going to save you a lot. But tip, make sure you go through and check them before you post it, because I've had some pretty bad things turn out. It read my voice really wrong, and if I wouldn't have checked it, I probably would have been kicked off LinkedIn. So another one is Unsplash, free stock photos. It's awesome. Just don't pick like the main ones on the main page because everybody has seen it. So just try and scroll through the ones that are a little bit further down. Preview. Preview is actually something for Instagram that I use where you can see what your feed looks like before posting. So if there's like a certain theme or color scheme that you want to use, or you're trying to like make a row across of one action, you know, like one photo and 3 different posts, this is something that you can do and rearrange and plan your Instagram feed before you actually post. Cut Story is awesome because Instagram only allows 15-second clips on stories. So you go into this app, if you have a 4-minute video, a 3-minute video, and it'll automatically splice it into 15-second clips, download it, put it on Instagram, and it's already cut and ready for you to go. Hashtag. This is an awesome app too, especially on Instagram, not so much, hashtags aren't used so much on Facebook and LinkedIn somewhat, but you can type in, so for me, I could type in minimalism, or minimalist living, or simple living, and it'll come up and generate a list of hashtags related to that and ones that are doing well. I can copy it, put it right into my Instagram in the comments, and it's ready to go. So that's one you should definitely check out. Motivation is awesome. It's a quote app. So every day you can go in and just scroll through quotes. You can have it so it's set to your phone. You can change the fonts. You can screenshot it and post it straight from there onto your feed if you want to share quotes. It's awesome. Veemly. This is another one. If any of you have seen videos with also captions, but there's like a little progress bar on the bottom. Have any of you seen that? Where it looks, you know how much further is left in the video. This is the app to use for that. You can put content above, content below, a banner. You can do the progress meter. And Visco is what I actually do all of my photo editing on. So, and that is like, I don't do Photoshop. This is amazing. I've been able, there's probably 50 filters at least on there. So that's definitely something I recommend. For everybody here tonight, let's see, we got 15 minutes, that's good. I want to make sure I give you an opportunity to get a discount on my book if you want. Lil DFW, LinkedIn local, but make it Lil sounds cooler. Lil DFW, if you go onto my website, jbmelton.com, and go to shop, you can get either my original book or the workbook edition, and any other, I have it available for anything else on there that you might want, 20% off Lil DFW. This week, I also released a new coaching program for executives called the World Class Leader. Essentially what it is, it's a program to help leaders take care of themselves so they can better take care of others. Fill their own cups so they can help fill the cups of those that they're leading. If you want more information on that, go to my website. Here's my Pale Moonlight one. I was hoping my tan version would be there. So let's open it up to Q&A, and we can make it very discussion based too. So if someone else has an answer, feel free to answer. So yeah, go ahead.
Talk about engagement for a minute on LinkedIn. It's my impression that if you like too many things or comment too many things, you sort of clutter up your feed because that all shows up on the feed. Do you have to be aware of that, or does it not matter?
What'd you say, Jake?
As long as it aligns with your brand and what you're trying to go for, and it's relevant to like everyone who's going to be seeing it, then just comment on as much as you like, because then you'll be showing up and people will be like, "Who is this Jeff guy?"
Right. So don't comment on everything. Comment on stuff that fits your message.
Yep. Excellent point.
Okay.
Comment on whatever it is you're passionate about, and I mean, obviously, if let's say I keep using HR. If you're in HR and you're strictly on LinkedIn because you want to go and help those in HR, you have a product regarding HR, that's your audience, and you start getting involved in all these IT comments and all of these Bitcoin comments or what, like something totally off, just because you feel like you have to comment, that's not going to help you at all, really. So you want to be engaging with the people that you're going to want to connect with and the people that you want to see you on LinkedIn. That's a great question.
Do you think you should let's say you do a post that you want people to see, do you think you should wait a while before commenting so that kind of gestates out there a little bit?
That's great. So you post I
want my audience to really see that.
So that's a great question too. In my personal experience, I try and stay on within an hour after posting. Obviously, if I'm out and about with my family, I'm not going to sit on my phone. But within an hour, I like to respond to the comments that have been left already. Now, whether that helps the algorithm or not, I'm not sure. I assume it does. But it's also a good way for people to understand that you're there. And if you post something, by the way, and never get back to comments, we all know people like that who never get back to your comments, right? So be the person who gets back to people. It's going to make you stand out.
So a lot of my work is done on Facebook. On Facebook you have the insights. So you can look at engagement, how many people you reach, and so on and so forth. So you can have some analytics. With the LinkedIn, is there an analytics tool that basically, because I know you're saying that I post this and I've got this many followers, can you look at it 3 months, 6 months later and say, this is my track record of the engagement in what I've been doing? And if so, where is that?
Never. I would say no. There's really no way of doing that. There's little analytics, like when you go on, you can see obviously how many views you have, how many people have visited your profile over a certain amount of time, obviously how many comments and likes. But
LinkedIn Premium. You
Some
also
of
have
it.
LinkedIn Premium.
I need to
You got
get
a regular
Premium.
LinkedIn
Yep.
account, you won't see it. But the other thing with you is that every post that you have, you can see certain analytics against that post, and it's not there for everyone. And what you will get is you'll know where they came from, even companies that they came from, what their roles are. You'll see information like that, but not necessarily details that you get in Facebook Insights.
Right, so you can't say, well, I posted, this many posts, and I had this many people engaged, and whatever.
Now, what I don't know, and I don't know if anybody here has Sales Navigator access, but if from it, I don't know if there's access analytics from there.
There's nothing actually.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, and that's a,
But Sales Navigator is
Limitation-
awesome
limitation.
for a bunch of other things too, targeting who you're trying to reach and connecting with the right people. It's awesome.